Wow, this one's hot off the press. Fremantle's ruckman Liam Reidy has officially requested a trade to Carlton. He's chasing more senior opportunity. And when you look at Carlton's off-season, losing TDK and Jack Silvagni with some other players retiring, the need for a big man in the ruck is as clear as day. Today, in this video, we're breaking down who Liam Reidy is, what his numbers could tell us, and why Carlton are targeting him, and how his game fills one of the most obvious Carlton list holes. Reidy's story isn't your typical AFL fairy tale. He wasn't a top pick. He was picked out of relative obscurity from Fremantle from Frankston in the rookie draft at 202 centimetres, 25 years of age. He's been a bit of a late bloomer rather than that mercurial prodigy. Across 3 seasons for Peel Thunder, he has built a reputation as a workhorse second-effort big ruckman. He's played over 50 games for Peel and was part of their 2024 Premiership side. After years of grinding, he cracked into the AFL side, finishing the 3 senior games. He's competed hard, but Fremantle already have 2 rucks, and they are relatively superstars, particularly in Luke Jackson's case, and Sean Darcy has been preferred as that secondary ruckman to allow Luke to do Luke things. Realistically, the door is shut pretty much for regular football. That's why he's asked for a move. And at Carlton, the door is open. Koning has gone, there's opportunity, and opportunity is everything when you're desperate to play AFL football. In 2025, Carlton have had quite a lot of list changes, namely Tom de Koning leaving through free agency to St Kilda. He's their number 1 developing ruckman. He's what they have pinned their hopes on. But by playing Tom de Koning, it has masked a lot of Carlton's obvious needs with their ball. They've delisted a host of players as well. Cincotta, Lemmy, Orazio Fantasia. Doherty's retired. Silvagni has pinch hit in the ruck at times, is now a key back. He's left. That's a brutal hit to your structure of your list, and the data tells the same story. Carlton's hit-out percentage isn't ranked elite. Carlton's first possessions being used from the ruck taps is bottom 4. Its clearance differential, negative 5.8. That is very poor. Tackles inside 50, bottom 3 repeat stoppage entries are very poor. Without de Koning, the Blues are suddenly 1 injury away from having no ruckman and having to try untested Hudson O'Keefe. That's not sustainable, and Hudson O'Keefe looks more of a ruck forward. Pittonet, he has had his moments, but Carlton are going to have to change their midfield structure. Liam Reidy comes in and offers a very good competition for Mr. Marc Pittonet, allows Hudson to develop, but may help Carlton in some serious areas. Now, it gets interesting when you look at Liam Reidy, right? 17 games this year, 16 touches, 60% disposal efficiency, which for a ruckman ain't so bad, but this is where it's interesting. Just under 42 hitouts per game. That's elite. 4.5 tackles per game. That's elite. Score involvements, 4 per game. So this is really strong, and half a goal a game is very interesting. He's a very combative ruckman, as shown by his free kicks against, just under 3. This guy is a little bit of a menace. But them hitouts and that ability show that he is a very strong. He's amongst the best ruckmen in the WAFL. And he's not just competing, he's very strong around the stoppages. His follow-up work is second to none. His tackles is really strong. He wins the ground ball, a big area of concern for Carlton. And he applies that defensive input. And also, he looks to start chains, which is so important for the Blues. That's a massive for a side that ranks very low on generating them kind of scores. Now, although it's a serviceable ruckman, you want to think more, this guy gets the game going forward and will hold up an end. He's not going to be a superstar ruckman, but it does mirror other teams and how they play. He's going to win the hitouts, and now the real pressure is on that midfield to not just be flashy, to be functionable and get this ball on the outside. So why do Carlton need him? We know about Liam Reidy. Well, he fits the case, ruck depth. Losing TDK has left a massive hole. Pittonet is solid, but he's injury prone, and it hasn't always worked. And without cover, Carlton are 1 knock away from having to plug the gaps with Harry Mackay and Cripps. But the follow-up pressure is so strong. The clearance differential has been an issue for Carlton, particularly even when they do play TDK. And with that just under 5 tackles and with the scoring involvements and the change starting, that is something that Carlton desperately lack. When we saw Silvagni go into the ruck, you saw Carlton play quite sexily. With Liam Reidy, he's going to bring that with a bigger size, but he ain't no slouch. He's not going to kick a bag of 5, but them 7 goals he's kicked show that he can be a system-fit player. Carlton don't need flashy. They don't need a superior tap artist. What they need is a contest player that will help the stars, Walsh, Cherrett, Cripps and Hewitt, win first possession and then use that ball. And with Reidy's WAFL profile, he's not going to be a superstar. He's going to be an incredibly strong asset for the Blues should he play. So I want you to think of Liam Reidy like this. It's not Brodie Grundy or Max Gawn. He's not going to be racking up 30 touch, 20 touches, 8 clearances. He's more of a mould of like a Darcy Fort stopgap role player who completes, tackles and makes the stars shine. That's fine because the Blues have superstars. They don't have hard-at-it role players. And this could be a very shrewd move. These are the kind of moves that I get around with the Blues because they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. And it allows them to give Pittonet some real competition with some point of difference to his game style. So the risk rewards of this are simple. Carlton don't need to burn a high draft pick. His WAFL numbers prove he can dominate at state level. He fills the most obvious hole in Carlton's list profile. The risks, he's unproven at AFL level. The WAFL ain't the AFL, just 3 games, and that does say something. He gives away some free kicks as well. He's going to be one of them punished ruckmen. But when you compare the risk to the upside, it's minimal. At worst, his depth. At best, he's a 15-plus game ruckman who steadies Carlton's midfield balance as they look to adapt a very weak area versus the talent they have. So Liam Reidy, he's going to Carlton. He's not glamorous. It's not a headline grabber. I'm sure people aren't going to be queuing up at Icon Park to clap him in. But it's smart and it suits the pommy ball strategy. The Blues lose to Koning. Their data shows they're a bottom tier side when you compare it with the talent they have around stoppage and clearance. And they've targeted a ruckman who is hard at it. It's a classic pommy ball footy strategy. Fill the gap with an undervalued role. Give him value. It's exactly what the list is missing. So Blues fans, what do you think of Liam Reidy? Enough to cover the loss of TDK? A stronger bit of depth there? Or do you still want Carlton to go out and buy an A-grade ruckman? Let me know in the comments. Freo fans, are you sad to lose Liam? It does seem a shame that he is behind Darcy, but I do understand how that Darcy and Jackson combination works so well. Drop your thoughts and your takes in the comments. What are you looking for Jackson? What are you looking for Liam Reidy? And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because we will be here. When the news breaks, there'll be a pommy breakdown. See you soon. Pom out.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.